to conclude the market structure series, I want you guys to really practice this before going any further. Practice, practice, practice until you feel like you absolutely cannot practice anymore and that you absolutely get it. If you decide to continue to watch these videos and other series within the course here, and you do not understand everything that I spoke about in the market structure series, then you're going to have a heck of a time going forward. You're not going to succeed without understanding market structure fully, without clearly identifying at least what I taught you so far in the what I call the basic market structure series, the introductional series, right? The next step would be to go to the order flow series. Obviously, order flow goes hand in hand with market structure. It's the same idea. It's just order flow is showing you a more intricate version of market structure, right? And how we look at it from an internal and fractalized standpoint. So that would be the step 2. But of course, you can't go to step 2 if you don't understand step 1. So I thought it would be wise to include this because I'm sure people will try to go through it all in a day and expect to be geniuses overnight. You can't do that. That's not going to happen, right? Sorry to burst any bubbles, but that's just not how this works. It all comes down to your dedication and your time at the end of the day. Are you going to just watch the course and expect to be a pro overnight? I hope not, because it's not going to work, right? You need to go through this slowly and practice along the way, right? When you watch a video, maybe go to the chart. Say, hey, you know, this is what Phoenix is talking about. So I'm going to go pick a spot on my chart here, and I'm actually going to try to draw in the structure that exists between this low and that high. And if I can do that and I feel good about those points on the 5-minute time frame, then maybe I'll move down to the 1-minute time frame eventually and see how that works, right? So you need to put this to use, right? And obviously this is me doing it. Okay, that's more than 2 bearish candles in a row. Cool. You have a higher high with the break, right? Cool. I like that. And then you have a higher high, but that's not 2 bearish candles. So I'm glad I didn't pick that point. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And then you have a lower high and then a SFP in the low. So that's not the lower low. Where's the lower low at? Well, the lower low would actually be here. The next point would be technically here for up here. Or this wouldn't exist here, right? You need to be able to identify that, because if you were the one that picked this, 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 and this, technically, this is not a valid point. Because why? Well, it didn't go higher than this point. So why are you picking a point that's a lower high when you didn't break a lower low, right? That would only be valid if you broke this guy over here, which is the previous higher low. But the higher low is still intact, so there was no reason to choose this as a point. And if you're making those errors, you have to keep practicing, right? You have to keep practicing until you get it. Another thing you can do, right, for those that watch my streams is watch them, continue to watch them. I go through market structure stuff all the time. I draw it in a live environment, okay? If it helps you, definitely go through those streams. Even go back and watch streams for more market structure like help. Everything in this course has been covered in terms of structure, what you need to know for structure. There's nothing that I left out. Right? We have the basic introductional series. We have the order flow series. We have the advanced structure series. All 3 of those are very, very key. You have to get those down pat. I cannot stress that enough. So in terms of what to do for backtesting market structure, I suggest that you go back to notable zones, right? Notable high. That's obviously a notable high on the 13th of July, 2023 on Bitcoin. And go back with your replay. See if you can test yourself, right? Go back to here. And once you get really good, you can go back and actually do it in a live environment. Like you can actually try to predict what happens next based on what you know from a structural standpoint, right? And that's what you need to get yourself up to. You need to start being able to predict the next point based on the logic of what you see here. Once you get to that step, then yeah, sure, move on to the next series. But until then, until you're not, until you're actually getting some right and proving to yourself that you can understand market structure, then do not skip past and watch again, right? Watch again and again and again until you get it. Cannot stress this enough. So crucial of a step, right? The structure stuff is no joke. It basically creates everything else, right? You got to think market structure creates everything else. So again, go back test the heck out of this stuff and Keep that in mind for the remainder of this course, as this applies to every other section as